Sight for White newsletter, September 2022. Spotlight on member Di. Meet volunteer, trustee and member Ruth. Trip to the Mayflower. Dress for less, plus much more. Front cover shows photograph of member Di.
The Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. The passing of Her Majesty has been a very difficult time for many of us, whose hearts she touched in her 70 years as our head of state. We thought an appropriate way of celebrating her life was to look back to 2014, when the Isle of Wight Society for the Blind was awarded the prestigious Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. The award celebrates the outstanding work of local voluntary groups across the UK and is awarded to organisations that are led by volunteers, our Board of Trustees, and embraces volunteering at the very heart of their work for others. Every day, millions of people across the UK are making a difference by volunteering, and this award was created to recognise that. Each year, outstanding examples of this work are celebrated through the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, QAVS, created in 2002 for the Queen's Golden Jubilee. QAVS awards have been shining light on the fantastic work of voluntary groups for many years. Equivalent of an MBE, QAVS are the highest award given to local voluntary groups in the UK, and they are awarded for life. We were successfully nominated in 2013, and in 2014 a royal visit was planned to present us with the award by His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent on the 17th of September 2014. Sir Martin Lewis, Chair of the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, offers a tribute to Her late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and condolences to the royal family. 20 years ago, on the occasion of her Golden Jubilee, Her Majesty inspirationally established the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service to acknowledge the achievements of volunteers working together in groups. Since then, many thousands of such groups tackling issues and problems at community level right across the country have been honoured, inspired and enhanced by these awards. They are just a small part of the incredible support Her Majesty gave to the voluntary sector right across the UK during her lifetime, and on behalf of all those award winners and the QAVS team, I would like to express our gratitude for Her Majesty's formidable legacy of volunteer encouragement which has touched every part of our country, and to express our sorrow at the passing of a true great lady, Martin Lewis. I'll get Chris in a minute to do that other bit.
Welcome everyone to Sight for White's newsletter. I'm sure you will find lots to interest you and plenty of dates for your diary as we go into autumn. I would like to thank the members of staff and volunteers who came and supported both the evening and the Illuminated Newport carnivals. The atmosphere was incredible and it was such a fun occasion. I'm sure all those who saw the processions will have been impressed by our charity, and we also won a cup. The story writing competition is with us again, the Christmas raffle and ordering our Christmas cards and diaries. Where does the time go? Remember, if you have some special occasions, Debbie and her team are always ready to help and suggest new outfits, right down to the hat, shoes and handbag. Have you ever wondered what colours actually suit you? Well, on the 6th and 7th of October, Dress for Less are hosting an event with a colour specialist where you can book your own personal consultation. Book soon, as though there are limited places. Please remember, We now offer full one-to-one support, including free loan equipment through our White Sense team. And they, along with the Sight for White team, are always there to support you. Thank you to our wonderful staff, dedicated volunteers and trustees for all the time, effort and commitment that ensures we achieve our aims.
This is Lisa reading CEO Update for the September 2022 newsletter. I'm not quite sure where the summer went, but I certainly enjoyed the lovely weather it brought. Of course, however, the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II impacted us all, and our thoughts are with her family and everyone whose heart she touched. August was a quiet time for us from a member point of view, as all activities were suspended to allow staff and volunteers to take a well-earned break. However, we took time to have a major clear-out of Millbrook House, sorting out donated equipment for resale, arranging rooms and generally tidying up. The small downstairs kitchen has been completely refitted as a new member meeting room to allow individual members some privacy when visiting us, to look at new equipment and talk through their own thoughts and feelings. September soon came around and Millbrook House was buzzing again with all the activities resumed. The Thursday group were back bustling with news from their breaks, the swimmers in the water again and all other groups returning. Staff have undergone training this month on mental health awareness, and it was a stark reminder to everybody to look after your own mental health first, or you will not be able to help any others. Taking just 1 hour a day to yourself to de-stress is extremely important, whether that is running, reading, taking a bath or just sitting quietly. We all need to make sure we take time to unwind. Finally, the island is set to see electric bikes arrive, following on from the electric scooters. We've been talking to the suppliers, Beryl, and again put pressure on them to increase the parking fines if bikes are not left in their correct designated bays upright. Today I received a notification that this has been doubled from £5 to £10. We cannot stop these bikes coming, but we can lobby to stop potential hazards they may cause. Thank you, Lisa.
Members' activities read by Susan
And Chris.
Weekly. Mondays, swimming at Medina Leisure Centre, Newport. Term time only, between 1:15 and 2:15 p.m. The cost is £5 and £2.50 for transport.
Wednesday. Coffee and chat at Millbrook House between 10 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. All are welcome to join us for coffee and cake. The cost is £1 and the group is open to all, not just members.
Thursdays, mix and mingle at Millbrook House between 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Planned activities including crafts, quizzes and entertainment. The cost to join is £3 plus £2.50 for transport if required.
Monthly. First Tuesday of the month. God's Hill Coffee Morning at the Old Smithy, God's Hill, between 10:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. Everyone is welcome.
Second Tuesday of the month, Our Place Community Cafe at West White Sports and Community Centre, Mower Place, Freshwater. Our volunteer John will be there with any help or advice. It is open between 10:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. They also meet on the second Monday of the month at Totland Christchurch.
Second Tuesday of the month. Lunch Club is open to all and held at various locations across the Isle of Wight. We provide transport where possible. These lunches are proving popular.
Second Wednesday of the month, Audio Book Group, held at Millbrook House between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. This group is free to attend.
Last Friday of the month. Striders is for members who enjoy walking. The route is normally around 5 miles, held at various locations across the island and finishing with a pub lunch.
The last Sunday of the month, Golf at Westridge Golf Centre Ride. Members enjoy 45 minutes on the driving range with an instructor available to help complete novice to those playing regularly.
Rowing in Yarmouth on a gig, manned by 4 rowers and a cox, 1 oar each, often rowing from the bridge up to the bridge at the start of Afton Marsh, really sheltered.
10-pin bowling at Ryde Super Bowl on the 4th Wednesday of the month between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. The cost is £4 for one game. We have people to help with the scoring and general assistance with the bowling.
Millbrook Milers, monthly social walk for members who want a shorter walk than striders but still love to walk. The walk will be a minimum of 1 mile and meets between April and October on the second Friday of the month at 10:30 a.m.
And new exciting activities. Horse riding. We have now been in contact with a new riding stables who is delighted to offer us horse riding sessions. We are planning to run them monthly and the stables are offering an hour's ride for £23. The stables do have a weight limit due to the horse's welfare and more details will be given when you call the office on 522205.
Tandem bike. We have been given the opportunity for our members to have a go at tandem bike riding. The gentleman will offer a 1 hour, 2 hour or 3 hour session depending on fitness and ability. If you are interested, please call the office.
Yoga at Millbrook House is every Tuesday between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. The cost is £3 including refreshments. Activities do get booked up, so please do not hesitate to call the office to book your place. Where possible, we provide transport, but it is not always possible. Equally, if you have any suggestions for an activity, please do come forward and let us know, and we will try to accommodate where we can. Or, if you wish to volunteer to help others again, do not hesitate to contact us on 522205.
Christmas cards, £3.50 per pack of 10. 1 has a robin, a scene. Number 2 has a Christmas tree. Number 3 has Father Christmas. Number 4 has a snowman. Packs are available from Millbrook House or call the office if you would like to order some over the phone. A few of last year's designs are also available.
Volunteers Update, read by Susan. Hopefully by the time this newsletter is published, we would have celebrated our Volunteers Party and been able to, at long last, say a massive thank you to all of you for everything you do. August gave us time to sort out Millbrook House and also give our volunteers a break from our normal activities. Enjoy the wonderful summer we all had, although a little hot at times. We worked throughout, sorting Millbrook House from the loft down to all the activity rooms, and now hopefully the space is more manageable and usable. I also spent time planning activities and preparing rotas, although this proves difficult at times when we are struggling with volunteers for certain positions, but hopefully we are fully prepared for the next 4 months. I must mention one of our events that we attended during the summer, following on from Newport Carnival. Our minibus, Alan, suggested we entered the Illuminated Parade, and after consulting with members, volunteers and staff, we decided to go ahead and enter. On the evening, we decorated the minibus with hundreds of lights. Everyone had lights around them, and we lit up our banner to take pride of place at the front of our group. But the biggest cheer came from the crowds when they noticed a couple of signs in the front and rear window of the bus stating that it was all Alan's fault. This caused much amusement, and I am sure a lot of people went home that night wondering what was Alan's fault. We look forward to next year, and hopefully more members and volunteers will join us on the parade. Finally, I would like to say a huge thank you to all our volunteers who gave up their time to help at Wolverton this year. This is always a very popular show, and I am pleased to say we raised £432 and 10p over the weekend, which is fabulous. As always, I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of our volunteers. Without you, we would not be able to run our charity. Susan.
Lindsay Milmore. Hello everyone. What a busy couple of months they have been. I have been concentrating on making 3-month follow-up calls to our White Sense members, which are proving very successful and welcomed. We are gaining a great insight to the needs and help that some people require outside of our service, which therefore means we can refer them to the relevant outside organisations to enable them to get the help that they need. This includes things such as energy price concerns, loneliness, cost of living, etc. It is also enabling us to build more engaging relationships after the initial assessment is completed and equipment has been issued.
Meet Trustee Volunteer Member Ruth. Hello, my name is Ruth Hollingshead and I am one of the trustees here at Sight for White, as well as being a volunteer and member. Many of you will already know me, but for those who don't, here is a bit about me and what I have been up to in the last year. Very briefly, I have a genetic condition called rod cone dystrophy, which started when I was about 8 and which slowly progressed until I was registered as severely sight impaired in 1994. I have been a member of Sight for White for over 30 years, a volunteer for around 16 and on the board of trustees for 14 years, so have seen a lot of change as the charity has grown. On a personal level, I have had a bit of a blip as my lovely guide dog Flora was medically retired in August last year. This means I've had to brush up on my mobility skills and get used to using my long cane again. However, on a positive note, I've been able to keep Flora and in April I went back onto the waiting list for another dog. To relax, I do Heru yoga for the blind. I'm a very keen knitter. I'm a member of the Historical Association and I'm looking forward to my annual trip to Eastbourne with the National Federation for the Blind in October. As a member of Sight for White this year, I have been on the holiday to Norton Grange, where I tried archery and rifle shooting and had brilliant fun as part of Newport Carnival, where I represented Dress for Less. I've been on a wet wheels trip around the Needles, sailing in the Solent, and went to the Mayflower for an audio-described performance of The Lion King this month. I'm also a member of the audio book group and the Striders walking group, as well as regularly attending the Wednesday coffee morning. As a volunteer at Sight for White, I was part of the initial set-up process for the telephone befriending scheme and was matched with 3 members to call each week. As group leader for the Macular Society on the island, I'm also a point of contact for anyone who has either macular conditions or Charles Bonnet syndrome. I also deliver the Living Well with Sight Loss courses at Millbrook House. This is a 2-day course designed by the RNIB, which gives information about local and national support for people, covering topics such as daily living, mobility, money, well-being and technology. For more info, call the office. As a speaker for both Sight for White and Guide Dogs, I have visited several groups this year to talk about sight loss and give information on both charities. Finally, as a trustee, I have certainly been kept busy this year as we get used to the new normal and develop our services to cope with both growing demand and the new sensory contract. Alongside our regular board meetings, we have had several in-depth training sessions and workshops to keep us well informed. As part of the HR committee, my role also includes interviewing potential new staff, which I really enjoy. Most recently, this has been our new finance officer. To summarise, being a member of Sight for White lets me take advantage of all the exciting social activities we offer. Being a volunteer lets me use my experience of sight loss to inform and support others. And being a trustee means I can give something back to the charity by using my extensive knowledge to help shape service provision. If you would like more information about social activities, volunteering opportunities, or becoming a trustee, please give the office a ring. Finally, I'd like to end by saying a huge heartfelt thank to all the staff and volunteers, as well as the members who make Sight for White such an amazing charity, which I am proud to be a part of. Macular Society visit. Tyler Phillips, the Regional Manager for the Macular Society South East, will be attending our November coffee morning at Millbrook House from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. She will be giving information about macular news and details about what the charity is doing, so please come along.
Hello, this is the part 2 of the tinnitus newsletter article that I started in the last time's issue. I mentioned in the previous issue that I would discuss some self-help techniques that can be used to help combat the impact of tinnitus. However, if you have sudden onset tinnitus with no other symptoms, then you should see your GP and request a referral to ENT, the Ear, Nose and Throat Department at St Mary's Hospital, to rule out any treatable medical problems which may be the cause. Firstly, you need to ask yourself the question, what can I do to help myself, or is there anything I can try that might help me? If you're asking these types of questions, then you are probably ready to try some different techniques which may help your tinnitus. There's a lot of tinnitus self-help information available online from the British Tinnitus Association website. They also have a helpline number which you can call 0800 018 0527 for support. There are also several books on the subject available that you can buy or ask the library to get for you. Here are some simple techniques that can be tried which might help. 1. Break the silence in your home by having the radio or music playing or the TV on. External sound can help to mask the tinnitus and prevent the brain from tuning into it. Number 2, take up a new hobby or develop one you have. If you do something that needs concentration, often the tinnitus becomes less intrusive, so you start to notice it less and less. 3. Try relaxation exercises or meditation. This can be a good stress reliever and can have a positive impact not only on tinnitus but on well-being also. YouTube is a brilliant resource for simple, short, guided meditation videos which can be followed easily. Number 4, find a local support group. Sometimes talking to others in a similar situation can be helpful and comforting. For the Isle of Wight, contact Susan by email on iowtinnitus@gmail.com if you wish to join. CBT, number 5, CBT or cognitive behaviour therapy can be extremely good at alleviating the impact tinnitus can have. There's a book that I recommend called Living with Tinnitus and Hyperacusis, written by Dr. Lawrence McKenna, Professor David Begorley and Dr. John McFerrin, which covers the steps used in CBT and applied to tinnitus primarily, but equally useful for hyperacusis. The goal is you will reach habituation, whereby the tinnitus, although not gone, you are able to live with it without it being overly intrusive in your life, and with support, habituation is achievable.
Karen Chessel, read by Gemma. It has been a busy couple of months for the sensory service. I've attended some training sessions, the first of which was the Living Well and Sight Loss, which was very informative and interesting. It is run by Ruth Hollingshead, trustee, and I would recommend it to anyone who has sight loss or lives with someone with sight loss. Please contact us on 522205 if you would like to be on the next course. I've also attended mental health first aid training, which again was very informative and very useful for my role as deaf-blind support officer. Being deaf-blind does not always mean that someone is totally deaf and totally blind. However, this can be the case. To be registered as deaf-blind, someone will need to have both sight loss and hearing loss that affects their ability with communication, access to information and mobility. We are able to carry out assessments for people with a dual sensory loss, and if this is something you require, please contact the sensory service at White Sense on 240 222.
Southwest Advocacy Network. Southwest Advocacy Network, SWAN, is commissioned by the Isle of Wight Council to provide free and confidential advocacy services for island residents. Independent advocacy is provided for people who have difficulty in understanding and engaging with health and care processes and who have no other appropriate person to support them to do this. The advocacy service ensures that people get the information that they need to help them make decisions. It will also support people to say what they want to say and make sure that their views are being heard. SWAN provides the following advocacy services. Independent health complaints. Advocacy is provided for adults who wish to make a complaint about any NHS funding service, including hospital services, GP services, mental health services, community services, dentists, opticians and pharmacists. Care Act Advocacy is provided for adults, children and young people when the council is making decisions about their care and support, and they have a substantial difficulty and do not have an appropriate individual to support them. Care Act advocates also provide support to carers. Independent mental capacity advocacy is provided for adults who do not have an appropriate family member or friend to assist them and lack the capacity to make decisions about serious medical treatments or a change of accommodation. Independent mental capacity advocacy helps to ensure that everyone's wishes are heard and considered by decision makers, as well as making someone to discuss these decisions themselves. They also protect the rights of those without capacity who are admitted to hospital or live in residential nursing homes. The independent mental health advocacy is provided for adults who are detained under the Mental Health Act. They help patients understand their rights and participate in decisions about their care and treatment. This autumn, SWAN are providing free self-advocacy training sessions. The Be Heard programme is designed to help people stand up for their rights and resolve issues that they are facing by teaching them how to advocate for themselves. Advocates from SWAN will be running the following Be Heard sessions. 28th of October 2022, 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. and the 25th of November 2022, 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. The sessions will be held in the Carisbrooke Room at the Riverside Centre on the Quay in Newport. Each session will last 2 hours and 30 minutes and will include the following: self-advocacy toolkits, group self-advocacy training with your peers, and one-to-one self-advocacy training and coaching. Advocates will also be present to discuss how to approach any issues you may be facing. The sessions and resources provided are completely free of charge. If you are in need of an advocate or would like to attend one of the Be Heard sessions, you can contact us on 03333 447928 or at iow@swanadvocacy.org.uk.
Spotlight on Di, read by Susan. I was born in Fareham, a little market town near Portsmouth, and one of my early childhood memories was every Monday morning, which was market day, the cows being taken off a train and herded loosely down to the market. So shops used to close doors to make sure the cows didn't come in. You could buy anything from a chick to a bull. When I left school, I worked in an old-fashioned shoe shop. I then worked at Johnson's and was there for about 7 years in the early 50s and made a friend there, and 70 years later we are still very close friends. For approximately the next 2 years I worked for Lurdell, a pharmaceutical company. Following this I worked at a pub for a fortnight called the Sir Walter Tyrrell in the New Forest, where I met my husband. We were then married within 8 months. My husband was in the Royal Navy, where we then moved to Malta for 2.5 years. When we returned to the UK, we moved back to Fareham, where I brought up my 2 children. My daughter was born in Malta and my son in Fareham. I was diagnosed with macular degeneration in May 2007 and as a result joined the Macular Society, who organised holidays to various parts of the country. One of the trips was on the Norfolk Broads, where I was able to steer the boat, which was quite an experience. In October 2017, I moved to the Isle of Wight, and about 6 months after that, I joined the Sight for Wight Mix and Mingle group. This has been a lifesaver for me, as I have made so many friends, and we always have a good laugh. I am lucky to have a husband, but for many people they live alone, so the charity is such a lifeline for them. I like to tell jokes, and competing with Chris at Sight for Wight as to who can tell the best jokes when I'm at the Thursday Mix and Mingle group. Needless to say, my jokes are better than his. From Di Crawford.
Sight for Wight 100 Club. Winners this time are Pamela, Viv Booth and Beryl. A very big welcome to Di and Viv. If you would like to join Sight for Wight 100 Club, you can get a number for just £2 a month, and you are helping to support us as well.
Calendars and diaries. Available to order from the office. A6 pocket diary, £6.50, 105mm by 148mm or 4.1 inches by 5.8 inches. A5 midi diary, £8.50, 148mm by 210mm or 5.8 inches by 8.3 inches. A4 desk diary, £10.50, 210mm by 297mm, equivalent 8.3 inches by 11.7 inches. A3 portrait calendar, £8, 297mm by 420mm, at 11.7 inches by 16.5 inches. A3 landscape calendar, £8, 420mm by 297mm, that's 16.5 inches by 11.7 inches. Call us on 52205, last date 18th of November to ensure December delivery.
The Befriending Update, read by Kate. Our mental well-being is just as important as our physical health, so it's important that we all take steps to make sure we take good care of it. 1. Talk, talk, talk. We know it's often not easy to talk to others when you feel troubled, but it really does help, and it isn't a sign of weakness. It takes courage to let others know when you're struggling, and you'll feel much better for it. Rather than keeping things to yourself, confide in someone close to you. Just being listened to can help you feel supported and less alone. And it works both ways. If you open up, it might encourage others to do the same. 2. Get active. Being active is not only great for your physical health and fitness, it is also proven to be great for mental well-being, helping to reduce anxiety and stress, combating low mood, and increasing self-esteem. And the great news is you don't need to start marathon training to reap the benefits. Low-intensity exercise works great too. The most important thing to consider is finding something you enjoy, whether that's going for a walk or taking up a new sport or hobby. 3. Quality sleep. It's widely acknowledged that sleep plays a large role in a person's mental well-being. After all, there's a reason it's said that someone in a bad mood woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Sleep is closely connected to mental health and has demonstrated links to depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder and other conditions. There are simple ways to improve your sleep which anybody can do. And these include maintaining a regular sleep schedule, avoiding alcohol, caffeine and tobacco in the evening, and dimming lights as you begin to unwind. Also, refrain from using electronic devices such as mobiles and tablets for at least an hour before bed. 4. Discard negative relationships. Negative relationships are highly detrimental to a person's mental health. Whether with a partner, friend or family, it's important that you invest your time in people that make you feel good about yourself and add value to your life. Being in relationships where you are judged, put down or dismissed can impact your mood, self-esteem and ultimately make you anxious or depressed. Try to remedy relationships where possible, but if you feel any of the above when you spend time with someone, it may be time to draw a line and move on. 5. Learn a new skill. Every day provides the opportunity to do something different or learn something. Knowledge fuels self-confidence. Research has proven that lifelong learning, whether acquiring a skill like learning a new language, taking up an activity like bird watching, or a pastime like pottery, can greatly improve your mental well-being as it adds meaning to life. It also allows you to escape any worries or concerns you may have and focus all your attention on something new and something you enjoy. Set yourself a challenge, no matter how big or small, and enjoy achieving it.
Embracing change. The Deafblind Convention is back and bigger than ever, and we'd love you to join us from the comfort of your own home. Our theme this year is Embracing Change with Deafblindness. 6th of October, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, free online event. Please call us here at Millbrook House on 52205 for details.
Education update. The education programme has had a break through the summer. This allowed the children, schools and volunteers who come with me to have a well-deserved break, ready for the programme to resume in September. Through the summer, I have been updating the programme. This then helps to continually make it better and allow the children to learn more and have more fun. Now the term has begun, I have been in contact with the schools to promote the programme to see if anyone would like to be part of it. Brading Primary School is interested in the programme, being delivered to multiple classes in their school. I am currently in contact with them to organise dates. In June, we had our Hat and Sunglasses Day. It was a great success, with many schools coming together to join in with this day together. Because of this, we have decided to do it again next year on Wednesday the 21st of June 2023. We have already been in contact with the schools, asking them to be part of this day with us. Make sure you put Wednesday the 21st of June 2023 in your diaries to join in with us too. I look forward to seeing as many people as possible join in with our Hat and Sunglasses Day again, and look forward to being out in the schools again promoting how important it is to keep your eyes healthy to reduce the risk of sight loss. Jasmine. It's back. Sight for White's Hat and Sunglasses Day, Wednesday 21st of June 2023. We had a great response this year, so we are wanting to promote this day again next year to continue to spread the importance of keeping your eyes healthy. We will be creating another video too. Please join in with us where, by possible, donating £1 to wear hats and sunglasses for the day.
Here at Dress for Less, we have teamed up with Diana from the House of Colour. We are offering a colour analysis taster event. Have you ever wondered what having your colours done actually means? Are you curious about personal colour analysis and what it involves? In this 30-minute taster session, Diane will demonstrate the tones of colour on the colour wheel and then drape the contrasting tones onto you to identify your best tones. You will take away with you a small card which will fit in your purse with your season of colours that naturally harmonise with your unique skin tone and eye colour. Sessions will be just £25 and will be available on Thursday the 6th and Friday the 7th of October at Dress for Less, 114 St James's Street, Newport, Isle of Wight. To book a place, please call 01983 523197. Limited spaces available and full payment will be required at the time of booking. Also, you will receive a £5 voucher to spend at Dress for Less, and we will also offer free refreshments. Dressing the inverted triangle body shape. This will be my last article discussing body shapes. I hope that you've enjoyed them and they have helped you in some way. This time we are learning about the inverted triangle. The inverted triangle body shape is characterised by broad shoulders and or a bust that narrow down to the hips. This makes the body appear like an inverted triangle shape. Characteristics of the inverted triangle. Shoulders are noticeably wider than the hip line. Shoulders may be straight, squared and strong looking. Bust can range from small to big. Little to no waist definition. Hips look straight and flat compared to broad shoulders. Bottom is rather flat. Great legs often come with this body shape. Body shape projects a sporty and athletic physique. Your aim when dressing your inverted triangle body shape. The inverted triangle body shape is heavier on the top due to the wide shoulder line. The goal for dressing this shape is to balance the broader shoulders, chest and back with the narrower lower body shape to create a balanced silhouette. This is achieved by choosing clothes that add curves to the hip and bottom while creating a more defined waist and de-emphasising the upper body. Add volume and interest to your hips and bottom to make them look curvier and your shoulders smaller. Which garments are good for the inverted triangle? Tops. Tops for the inverted triangle body shape should emphasise the waist and play down the upper body and broad shoulders. Simple straight lines, wrap style tops, splits on the waist or layering on the hips are great to add volume to the hip area. Look for shirts that flare from the waist to the hips to give the illusion of shape. Tops should extend past the hip line to take away attention from the shoulders. Opt for tops in darker colours than the bottoms and keep your shirts collarless or with very small collars to play down the upper body. Avoid crop shirts that end at the waist and details of embellishments around the upper body and shoulder area. Jackets. Jackets for the inverted triangle shape should de-emphasise your shoulders and upper body whilst highlighting the waist. The best options are either straight cuts or styles with waist definition that flare out at the waist. Nipped or belted jackets with deconstructed fluid lines flatter the silhouette. Pockets or other details below the waist are great to add interest and volume to the hips. Opt for the single-breasted jackets as double-breasted jackets would add too much volume to the upper body. Jackets should extend beyond the hip line to balance out the wide shoulders. They are best in darker colour for a slimming effect on the upper body. Avoid double-breasted buttoning, big collars, shoulder pads and embellishments like epaulettes as they make your broad shoulders appear even broader. Trousers. When choosing trousers, any style that will accentuate and add volume to the bottom and leg line is great for the inverted triangle. Baggy trousers, turn-ups, combats, palazzo, flares, culottes, wide legs and harem pants are great examples. Opt for trousers in bright or light colours to draw attention to your legs. Add lots of details such as pockets, embellishments on the back or front pockets, patterns and prints to add volume to your hips. If you want to wear more slim-fitted trousers, opt for straight and cigarette-style trousers. They balance out your silhouette better than skinny fits. Dresses. The right dresses for the inverted triangle body adds volume to the hips to balance your shoulders. To achieve this, look for dresses that flare from the waist or hips. Simple straight lines, shift dresses and A-line styles are great. Details on the lower part of the dress, such as patterns and pleats and lighter colours, will draw the eye downwards and away from the shoulders. If you opt for nipped or belted dresses, you can also add some definition to your waist. Strapless dresses are a great way of showing off your shoulders, but make sure you balance them out by adding volume to your hips. Avoid dresses that emphasise the shoulder area and upper body, either through the wrong neckline or through details to the upper body. And steer clear of dresses fitted at the bottom which don't add any volume to the hips. I'm delighted to be able to invite you to an event at Dress for Less in October. Please take a look at the advert on the next page. I do hope that we will see some of you there. Happy shopping, Debbie.
Mark O'Sullivan, read by Chris. The last month has been really busy on the White Sense team as we approach the end of our first annual quarter period. The end of any 3-month period is a big event for the service, as I have to prepare a quarterly report and then sit down with our local authority commissioner, Kathy Glover, to discuss how the service is getting along and whether or not we have achieved our key performance indicator targets. Key performance indicators are an important part of our local authority contract, agreed in advance and detailed in our contract. We use them to measure the performance of the White Sense service. They are designed to be a transparent way of supporting continuous improvement in performance while ensuring our time-sensitive work streams are completed and delivered efficiently. Our last meeting with the Commissioner was our first since we arrived at Site for White, and Kathy was anxious to hear how we were getting on. The team worked very hard during this first quarter and had more than reached the agreed KPIs. In addition, we were able to evidence the added value that the service has been able to provide as a result of work alongside the Site for White team. On a personal note, I am very sorry to say that I will have left the service by the time this goes to print to start my long-awaited retirement. I have loved every minute working alongside Lisa and the Site for White team, but I can retire knowing that the service is more than up and running and delivering what we promised, and I know it will be in safe hands for the future. All the best, Mark.
This is Lisa reading the update from the RNID. We at the RNID are here for the 12 million of us in the UK who are deaf, have hearing loss or tinnitus. On the island, we partner with NHS Audiology Services to provide hearing aid support services. This service supports people to get the most out of their NHS hearing aids. Our Isle of Wight Hearing Aid Support Service offer the following: general maintenance, such as retubing, cleaning and issuing of batteries, how to look after and clean your hearing aids, what to try if you're having problems with your hearing aids, how other local services and organisations can help, and information, advice and support. We have a number of maintenance clinics each month across the island where you can attend and obtain these services. Some of our clinics are by appointment only and others you can just drop in. Also currently provide a free postal service for batteries and tubing as required. The RNID are currently putting plans in place to offer hearing checks and a new digital directory highlighting what other services are available to people in their own communities. The following is a list of the current clinics. Bembridge Methodist Church, Forelands Road, Bembridge, PO35 5UD. The first Tuesday of the month, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is a drop-in clinic. The Riverside Centre, Honey Hill Room, The Key, Newport, PO30 2QR. This is the first Thursday of the month from 10 until 12 p.m. and is a drop-in clinic. Brading Youth and Community Centre, High Street Brading, PO36 0DH. It's the second Wednesday of the month by appointment only. Ryde Methodist Church, Garfield Road Ryde, PO33 2PT. Third Tuesday of the month by appointment only. Freshwater Methodist Church, Brookside Road, Freshwater, PO40 9ER. Third Wednesday of the month by appointment only. Town Council Office, The Green Room, 1 Salisbury Garden, Dudley Road, Ventnor, P038 1EJ. This is the last Tuesday of the month from 10 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. and it is a drop-in clinic. End of article.
The Lion King. On Tuesday 20th of September, our members enjoyed a trip to the Mayflower in Southampton to watch The Lion King. Before the show, members were privileged to enjoy a touch tour of the costumes for the show. Here are some photos of the members experiencing the costumes and enjoying the show.
Having an eye test. Opticians test your eyes. They are also called optometrists and often called opticians. Having your eyes checked is called an eye examination, an eye test or a sight test. You should have an eye test every year, but your optician will tell you if you need your eyes checked more often. Everyone can have their eyes tested. You don't have to be able to read or speak to have an eye test. There are different ways to check your eyes. No one is too disabled to have their eyes checked. Many people can get free eye tests. You are aged under 16, you are under 19 and in full-time education, you are aged 60 or over, you are registered as sight impaired or severely sight impaired, you have diabetes, you have glaucoma, are at risk of glaucoma, or you are over 40 and your mother, father, brother, sister, son or daughter has been diagnosed with glaucoma. You receive certain benefits like income support.
Having your eyes tested is very important. An eye test can find out if your eyes are healthy and spot signs of many common eye diseases. The vast majority of conditions can be slowed down with early intervention. You can choose to have an eye test at any optician. You can take a supporter with you for your eye test. If you need glasses, you can buy these at the optician. There are opticians who can visit you at home. Ask your optician about this. What happens when you go for an eye test? The optician will talk to you about your eyes and your eyesight. The optician will look at your eyes and see if they're healthy. They will need to get close to you to do this. The optician will use a light to look into your eyes, and the room may need to be dark to do this. The optician may ask you to follow a light with your eyes. This helps them check how your eyes move when you look at things. The optician will ask you to look at objects, pictures or letters. You can use words, signing, pointing or other ways to say what you see.
The optician may ask to put drops in your eyes. It may feel uncomfortable. The drops help the optician to see inside your eyes. The optician will put a test frame on your face. They will put different lenses in the test frame to check which lenses help you see things clearly. If you can't wear test frames, the optician can hold the lenses for you to look through. During the eye test, the optician may use some equipment to check your eyes. The optician will test how well you see things at the side of your vision. Some machines blow a puff of air onto your eye or touch your eye gently. This helps test for a serious eye problem called glaucoma. After your eye test, the optician will tell you about your eyesight and whether you need new glasses. They will give you a piece of paper called a prescription. If the optician has found that you have a potential eye condition, they may refer you to St Mary's Eye Department for a further consultation. Remember, we are always here to help with understanding your diagnosis and help you through your whole sight loss journey as an individual. An eye problem, they might tell you to see an eye doctor.
This is Lisa reading the update from White Fibre. We are delighted to report that, as a direct result of the talks with White Fibre, the 195 service is now live on their network. In our last newsletter, we detailed information on the 195 service for those of us who cannot read a telephone directory and reported that it was not live on the White Fibre network. We're delighted to say it is now working. Anyone experiencing difficulties, please do let us know. But White Fibre have asked us to report how to make a 999 call for those on their fibre network. The fibre network relies on electricity, and therefore if there is a power cut, the telephone will not work. However, if you are on the priority register, this entitles you to a free battery backup, which will last long enough to make an emergency call. As someone living with sight or hearing loss, you will need to show one of the following documents to join the priority register at White Fibre and receive the free battery backup. Disability Living Allowance, DLA. Personal Independent Payment, PIP. Attendance Allowance, AA. A blue badge. And Armed Forces Independent Payment Schedule. Your ESA. A medical evidence letter that you are registered as a blind or partially sighted person. Any one of the above documents is enough. If you need help choosing a telephone suitable for anyone living with hearing or sight loss, please do not hesitate to contact the White Sense team on 240 222 and they can help. If eligible, they can even provide this free on long-term loan. End of article.
PAIRS, a personal assistant recruitment and employment service, inspected and rated good by the Care Quality Commission, an island-based not-for-profit care provider helping you to recruit and employ the right personal assistant, giving you choice and control in who provides your support and care needs. What is PAIRS? We are a personal assistant recruitment and employment service founded in 2014 as part of People Matter IW, the island's user-led organisation, which is a not-for-profit registered charity. PAIRS was created in response to individuals wanting more choice in the way their care and support is provided. We are a caring, professional and trusted organisation working to national quality standards. Our aim is to ensure your voice is heard where decisions are made about your life. Our service is about you and your individual choices. PAIRS wants to enable people with support needs to have more choice and control in who provides their support. PAIRS is a fully managed service and regulated by the Care Quality Commission, CQC. How does PAIRS work? The PAIRS team works with you to recruit a dedicated personal assistant, PA. This means every individual has choice and control over who delivers their support. PAIRS advertise and assist you in the selection of the right PA for you. We will then employ them through PAIRS on your behalf. PAIRS takes care of the payroll, employment rights, DBS checks and insurance. PAIRS will develop your personalised support plan with you. We provide ongoing support and review of your support needs. And we support your PA to provide a high quality service through ongoing professional training and continuous supervision. How much does it cost? We work with clients who have a personal budget or direct payment from the council or are self-funding their care and support. As a not-for-profit organisation, we are competitive. Please contact us for further details of costs. For more information or to register with PAIRS, contact us on telephone 01983 685 348, email pairs@peoplematteriw.org, or via the People Matter IW website www.peoplematteriw.org/PAIRS. Part of the People Matter Isle of W, charity number 1150937, Disability Confident Committed.
Short story writing competition. I'm delighted to announce we have launched our short story writing competition again this year, after the success of last year's, which produced some very high quality entries, despite lockdown and everything being virtual. This is an exciting opportunity for budding island writers to become published authors, win some great prizes and have their stories read and recorded by very talented celebrity people. This year's celebrity readers who have kindly agreed to donate their time to read the winning stories are, for the second year, Richard Cadell of Sooty fame, who joins Dominic Minghella, creator of the ITV network comedy drama series Doc Martin, stand-up comedian Mark Simmons of Comedy Central and Just the Tonic, and Hollyoaks star Bethany Cher McQueen Hare. This year's theme for the competition is the sea, so entries need to incorporate this, but it is up to the individual writers to decide how. We have also added a special under 8 category where this story can be told in pictures or words, so wanted to make the amazing creativity which children have to be captured in a form which more suited their age. I do hope you will enter this year and wish you all luck. Chris. Short Story Writing Competition 2022 Poster. The Sea. Are you a budding author? Enter our competition for a chance to have your story published and recorded by a celebrity. Entry fee per story, £8 for adults, 1,500 to 2,000 words, £2 for 12 to 17s, up to 750 words, 8 to 11s, up to 500 words, under 8s, up to 250 words with pictures. Entry forms from Waterstones, Newport, Sight for White, Carisbrooke, Dress for Less, Newport, email admin@iwsb.org.uk. For more information, visit sightforwhite.org.uk. Award ceremony on Monday the 5th of December 2022 at the Riverside Centre, Newport at 7 p.m. Entries must be returned by 5 p.m. on Friday 11th of November.
Tips from members. For those who share a kitchen and both prefer different kinds of milk, a good tip that helps me to tell them apart is by putting an elastic band on the milk I like, so I know which one to pour into my coffee. Robert from Sandown. I always buy socks which are the same colour. This helps me with not having odd socks. Leslie from Cowes. I struggle to know where my light switches are in my house because they are flat buttons rather than old switches, so I put bump-ons on them to fill the raised dot to know where to push. Matt from Shanklin.
Hello everybody. Time once again for Terry's 20 teasers for the latest issue of the Society's newsletter. As usual, there are 20 questions divided into 4 sections of 5 questions in each section. And perhaps not surprisingly, the first section has got questions about the late Queen Elizabeth. Number 1. In what year did the late Queen marry Philip? Number 2. How many grandchildren does she have? Number 3. In what year was her Silver Jubilee? Number 4. We all know that Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning British monarch. Who was the second longest reigning British monarch? And number 5, from which part of Britain do corgis originate? And I'm sure you know why I asked that one. Right, the next group of 5 questions are all about autumn. Number 6. Do evergreens ever lose their foliage? Number 7. I know we're saying "there goes summer" just now, but who popularised the song "Here Comes Summer" in 1959? Number 8. What are nerines? Nerines. Question 9. When is Thanksgiving in America? It's not so much a date as an exact day of the week of each month, if you see what I mean. When is Thanksgiving in America? And question 10. What tree do conkers come from? And believe it or not, I got that wrong in a quiz not long ago. The next 5 questions are all about Prime ministers, but don't worry, it's not particularly political. Number 11. Who was Britain's most recent Labour Prime Minister? Number 12. How many Prime Ministers did the late Queen appoint? Be careful with that one. It's how many did she appoint, not how many did she have serving under her. Number 13. Which Prime Minister was famous for the raincoats he wore? That'll date you slightly, but I'm sure some of you will remember it. I do quite well. And another one, which might date you a little bit. Question 14. Which Prime Minister said, "You've never had it so good"? And number 15. In the years since 1950, who has been the shortest serving Prime Minister? You might be able to take a guess at it, but it depends how far back your memory goes. And the last 5, as always, are odds and ends. Number 16. What is a pangolin? Pangolin. Number 17. Who is the present High Sheriff of the Isle of Wight? Number 18. What nursery rhyme is this? RAROR. Sounds silly like that, doesn't it? Number 19. This is one I only found out about 5 days ago, so don't worry if you don't know it. What are candy floss grapes? And number 20. In what year did India gain independence from Britain? And there is a totally coincidental link between question 1 and question 20. It's pure chance, I just noticed it when I'd finished setting all the questions. So I hope you didn't find them too difficult, and you can listen to the answers whenever you're ready to. Hello again. Here we go with the answers to Terry's 20 teasers. The Queen, the late Queen, married Philip in 1947. It was actually the 20th of November, but certainly a point for 1947. How many grandchildren does she have? 8. And just for interest, I'll run through them if you'd like me to. Peter Phillips, who's 44. Zara Tyndall, who's 41. Prince William, who's 40. Prince Harry, 37. Princess Beatrice, 34. Princess Eugenie, 32. Lady Louise Windsor, 18. And James Viscount Severn, 14. So those are the 8 grandchildren. The answer to question 3, when was her jubilee? It was 1977. It started on February the 6th and went on for quite a few months actually. Question 4. The second longest reigning monarch was Queen Victoria, nearly 64 years, but still over 6 years less than Queen Elizabeth. Number 5. Where do corgis come from? Wales. The country of Wales. Actually Pembrokeshire, but Wales is a fine answer. Now, do evergreen trees ever lose their foliage? Yes, they do, but gradually throughout the year, and so we hardly notice it. But they do actually lose it. I've noticed quite a lot right outside my window where my car goes, and there's a whole load of pine needles all over the ground there from next door's tree. Okay, there goes summer, we've been saying, but who sang Here Comes Summer in 1959? The person who made it most popular was Jerry Keller. Nerines are flowers. They're related actually to the amaryllis, which they blossom in the autumn, nerines do. They're a common sight on the island, but not in my garden. I just can't get them to grow. Number 9. When is Thanksgiving in America? It's the 4th Thursday in November. Totally different, incidentally, from in Canada. And where do conkers come from? Which tree? They come from the horse chestnut, not the oak tree like I stupidly said recently. The horse chestnut. The most recent Labour Prime Minister was Gordon Brown, who was PM between 2007 and 2010. The Queen actually appointed 14 Prime Ministers. When she became Queen, Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister, and she appointed Harold Wilson twice, so she actually oversaw 16 premierships, but she appointed 14 Prime Ministers. And talking of Harold Wilson, who was well known for his raincoats, Harold Wilson with his Ganex raincoat. And while we're on the Harolds, who said you've never had it so good? Question 14, the answer is Harold Macmillan in 1958. And number 15, who was the shortest serving Prime Minister since 1950? The answer is Sir Alec Douglas Hume, who managed a year and a day. Just 1 year and 1 day. Now the odds and ends. Number 16. What is a pangolin? It's an animal which has a scaly body and a long scaly tail, and it's found in Africa and Asia. Have a look at a picture if you can find one, if you can see one. They are a most unusual looking animal. Number 17, what nursery rhyme is R-A-R-O-R? It's ring a ring of roses. And who is the current High Sheriff of the Isle of Wight? Number 18, K. Marriott, JP. Number 19, and please feel utterly forgiven if you don't know this one, because I said I didn't know it till about 5 days ago. Candy floss grapes are, well, I'd call them green, but they call them white grapes, that have a sweet taste which is very reminiscent of candy floss. In fact, I couldn't eat very many of them, they're so sweet. And number 20, India gained independence from Britain in 1947, on the 15th of August to be exact, but 1947 is all I wanted. And as I said, there was a coincidental link between that and the first question, because it was also the year in which the late Queen married Prince Philip. So I hope you got on well with those, and I hope you enjoyed the quiz, and all being well, we'll all meet up again in another couple of months. Bye for now.
How to get help. Site for White 01983 522205. Inquiries at iwsb.org.uk. Website www.siteforwhite.org.uk. White Sense 01983 240 222. info@whitesense.org.uk. Website www.whitesense.org.uk. Office open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Millbrook House, 137 Carisbrook Road, Newport, PO30 1DD. Dress for less, 01983 523 197. Retail at iwsb.org.uk. 114 St James's Street, Newport, Isle of Wight, PO30 5HB.